Welcome back to the channel, guys. How are the profits beginning to run out on cryptocurrencies right now? Let's take a look at that in the charts, specifically on the major cryptocurrencies and of course the traps that continue to present themselves for new traders in the Bitcoin market. All right, guys, do those annoying things that YouTubers and influencers ask for, the subscribes and the likes. I know it's annoying, but it does help out the channel, pumps the content, and you get to see it in your news feeds up to date. Great, timely information. So without further ado, let's crack on with what we've got today. So I've got a couple of things that I want to look at. The traps, how we can overcome them, and smart money is not always smart money. This goes for billionaires as well. And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about here when we've heard recently about Elon Musk selling 75% of his Bitcoin, but there is some important information to know about the selling of Bitcoin, the pricing, and what does that mean for the market. It doesn't always mean what the news tells us to believe, and that's obviously why we're here on the channel. So let's take a look at Bitcoin first up, these traps. You must think that there's a trap, there's something emergency on Bitcoin and crypto every single day. Not necessarily, but there are always traps. And the trap at the moment is the price increases for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now, we've followed this move looking at the possibility of Bitcoin getting rejected on the 8th, or at least that $21,700 level. That is a key level for this point. So that's going to be a trap to the downside, and we're also seeing a trap to the upside as well for traders. And traders, at least new traders, the dumb money, that is the technical term, you've got the smart and the dumb, and that always chops and changes, so you're not always dumb, or we're not always smart. That is going to depend on who is on the right side of the market. So what we've been following is the rejection that Bitcoin has done the last 3 times. Every time it has dumped and then recovered. And you can see that it has been rejected at that first dump, that first bounce price. You can see here's the dump. This was the scary. This was the market sentiment was extremely fearful here. And then it bounced. So could it recover from that bounce price? And you can see again, for Bitcoin here, it has dumped and then it has bounced and it couldn't recover that bounce price, that first bounce out of the low price. Look what it's just done. So over the last 5 days, it recovered and closed above that bounce price where it dumped to and then the bounce, and we've recovered from that point. So that was what was leading me to believe that we're in for a stronger rally than what we've seen the last 3 times in this bear market. It doesn't mean the bear market is over. It doesn't mean that we won't test these lows again, but it does mean that the trading can become a little more tricky, especially for new traders, because they're hanging on and waiting for the market to give them more signals, and they come in late. And then when you come in late, the trap is that you have missed out on the majority of the first run, and the second run isn't always as strong as the first run or the the runs that preceded where it currently was. So the trap that I'm seeing here doesn't mean it has to play out, but what happens when people are trying to buy and sell, even long-term investors, new traders who are trying to dollar cost average in, they continue to get fearful about what's coming next in the market and think if the market goes against them, like we saw in the last couple of days, they freak out because it's already gone up so much and they want their position to be in profit straight away. So the mental game that goes on here for them is that they're bought in at the top, feeling like, all right, everyone else is in. I feel comfortable to buy now. I don't want to be in FOMO. And from that FOMO, they place an order. It could be a long-term position where they say, I don't care, I'm just going to buy in and it's going to keep going up. Or they think, I don't want to trade this, I'm going to sell it out when it goes up a little bit more and then buy it back when it drops further. The problem with that is it's already gone up 20, 30%. In some cases, like we're seeing with Matic, 200%. And so they're buying when everyone else has already bought and they're now selling out. And we've seen that. The chart has told us that there was some selling, maybe from professionals, maybe from the smart money, just at least taking some profits because they've already made a decent amount of profit on their leverage positions. So, or even in their spot positions, you can do pretty well on just your spot trading with cryptos. So the trap then is this next move up. People have been buying this dip thinking that they're going to get another one of these moves, and it may not come. We're not saying it won't or it will, but the probabilities that you're going to get another exact move of this, probably a little bit less now that people have seen what has happened. Doesn't mean it can't happen. I know I need to keep saying that because people think it's a black and white situation. It's just preparing for the probabilities. And so from this point, we can see what's ahead. We've got 2 resistance points now. We have our 50% level, so that was the target there. And this may have been the first attempt to overcome that target. That was on the 20th of July, hitting a top of 24,287. So what happens next is maybe we start to climb up, and the percentage gain is nowhere near what the first gain was. So that first gain was about 28%. And if we go from the low to the resistance level at the 50% level, it's about 10%. So it's nowhere near as much. And that could be the next round of selling from the guys who were profiting through this zone. So the guys who got on early and took the risk, maybe they entered on this breakout, which is what we were specifically looking at, the higher volume. So you still got a bit of a move here. And maybe you're just looking to take a few more profits because you're not selling all of it at this level here. That's the resistance level. And then see how the market reacts. Maybe it sort of comes back down and forms a more macro, stronger bullish position with the higher lows come in, but that takes more time to play out because it's a macro picture. So that's the trap with Bitcoin to the upside, and potentially comes back down. The guys who are buying up here, even though 23K could be a very good price in 2 or 3 years' time, it sort of scares a lot of people out of the position because we've been going down for so long, and it could be another few months before we actually get a move on and pass $40,000. And so they just want to get out, take the loss at 21K or thereabouts. Maybe we come back and test that support level at 21.7. And so they're out again before the market pushes up in the next few weeks to test that higher level. These are all scenarios that could happen based on any number of ridiculous news announcements, but what is actually going on with the buyers and sellers. This is what I think will occur. I think we'll probably get some sort of test at these levels between 24 and 26K. Maybe it's a day, maybe it's a couple of 4-hour bars that pull back, and that then starts to scare out the new traders. So that's the trap at the moment, at least on Bitcoin. We've got to look at the cryptocurrencies as well. So how to overcome that? Well, if we're getting in early, then the stops are there to protect us if we're, want to sell out in case the market goes against us. So keep them as tight as where they fit on your plan. Otherwise, check out something like the Gann Swing Indicator, which there is a link to in the top of the video description, which shows areas of support and resistance based on the swing of the charts. That can tell you maybe this is a good area to place some stops, have a bit of a percentage away from it. But if you're in it for the long haul, then you're not concerned with if the market goes down further. You think 23.5 is a good level to be dollar cost averaging in, that's fine. But just know what's coming up next, or at least have a bit of a plan in case the market does fall so you don't get scared out of the position. So that's the Bitcoin trap at the moment. Before I crack on with the cryptos, check out the link for Bybit in the top of the video description. Of course, it's a channel sponsor, which I will mention, but they have a beautiful trading platform over there. They also have it on mobile app, and they have leverage tokens, so it's leverage without the risk of liquidation. You can always check out these tokens as well. Now, I'm not telling anyone to go and blow all of their money in derivatives, leverage, margin trading. There are options out there because people are wanting to trade the markets at the moment, because you're getting some good trading ranges, highs and lows, and you're seeing the support and resistance, and people want to try their luck at making more gains. So I'm not telling everyone to do it, but definitely have a plan, use stops, don't do anything stupid, and don't put all of your money into it. Have a system where you divide up your total capital so that you're testing out your own plans. People are going to do it. It's just like teenagers with sex. They're going to have sex regardless. At least try and help them, teach them how they can do it in a more safe manner. I've used that on Twitter before, so if you're not following, go check out Twitter and Instagram, where they do have Q&As over on Instagram regularly, and of course Twitter as well. So with those analogies out of the way, and of course checking out your link to Bybit's in the top of the video description, yes, you can trade spot over there as well, so you can avoid that altogether. Pretend you're just jacking off yourself at home, so you're never going to get into trouble. Speaking of which, let's look at Ethereum. Actually, I probably should have switched to ADA on that call, but anyway, Ethereum. We are above the 50% level. We are testing that next level, which we had here on the chart, 1700, and this might be a similar-ish sort of pattern to what can happen for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin at the moment is still underneath the swing top, but you can see ETH is really trying to push above. So that's what I'm looking at when it comes to the trap here. You can see that it's potentially starting to play out. Maybe it does push and hit 17, or any of these levels higher up, 18 or 19. But really, when you look at the percentage gain from 14 to best case, say 19, it's not that much in terms of a percentage when you look at where it's come from. Just keeping things into perspective here. The good news for ETH though is it broke past the 50% on strong volume, but maybe it just needs a little bit more time to wind up and then push to higher prices during this pump of cryptocurrencies. So stay vigilant on your trades. Nothing ever goes up in a straight line and goes and continues up forever. It does need to come back, have a pause, and a little bit of a time to rejuvenate, more buyers to come into the market to then push that price up again. Get some more fuel into the market. It's very, very natural. And sometimes it has a false attempt to go and then comes back a little bit further, and that's where the tricky traps get placed, like I've got here. In terms of the profits are running out, well, it's just different to the previous leg. It can happen the same, but the probabilities are not as high once you've already had such a big leg on. Maybe we'll get something similar to the leg before that, and you get that move up. It's sort of an equal move. It balances the market out, and then we hit that 1700 and have that reaction from that point. So that's what I'm looking at when I'm looking at profits are running out. And the best example of this is Matic, where we had that last move, 52 cents, all the way up to 98 cents. So we had a 90% move. Sure, we could get these happening time and time again, but I don't think it's likely in a bear market situation when the market really hasn't shown too much of a leg up throughout these last 7 months. To think it's going to happen just out of the blue already, take your pick. I'm not willing to bet that, and if I'm wrong, but at least I have been on the right side of the market the entire way down, and if I miss one or two, it is what it is. You know, that's just the reward versus risk when you're trading in a bear versus a bull market. So like we looked at in the last videos, short-term resistance taking profit, we specifically said that bar, that candle, you know, if you're looking on bars or candles, that was probably going to be a peak based on the extreme range of that candle. It's in the video 4 or so days ago, and we were looking for a correction from that bar based on that high volume, and then the next day was not able to push further. So the gas ran out. The buyers and the sellers were telling you that in the market before the news told us. That's how we read the market. And this is the short-term stuff. Then you can apply it to weeklies, monthlies, yearlies. That's how it's done. So take note of that. If you get these massive bars up and then the reversal, it's probably likely that the push isn't there anymore because the buyers are telling you that they have run out of steam. They basically came way too early and they need to just rest before they can have another shot. All right, that's all that it's telling us right there. Solana, it's telling us that it's not sure yet. It's trying to break past the 50% level. It's not sure which way it swings just yet. Is it going to come out of the closet, or is it going to keep going in a straight direction all the way up? We don't know yet. So it's at 50% level. It has broken above, come back underneath, and it is trying to get back above that first resistance level and those previous tops. So it is really trying hard to get to that $60 point. So it's looking a little bit stronger here. Whereas for ADA, it's told us that it's getting rejected at the 50% level, and it's going to take a little bit more time. Exactly what we've looked at for the several weeks now, based specifically off the 50%, off our swings, and just tape reading the market, which ones are stronger versus which ones are weaker. And if you're not trading any of these markets, you're trading other markets out there, your AVAXs, Phantom, whatever, it doesn't matter. Use this type of trade tape reading, which is the looking at the bars or the candles specifically, to identify the strong versus the weak stuff. So you can go out and make bigger profits compared to some of the weaker stuff here, like ADA. Not going at ADA or any of the ADA holders. I know there's a lot of them out there, including myself. But if I'm trading it, I want to pick the stronger stuff, so I'm going to make quicker gains faster than the slower stuff. Speaking of picking strong versus weak, smart money is not always smart money. Think about Mike Novogratz over this bull market. Now, he's come out and said it's not normal to make 200 times your money on things. Well, this is the guy that tattooed Luna on his shoulder. So they're all big players in the bull market, but in the bear market, they come out and tell us, well, it's not normal to make 200 times. So he easily made 200 times his money on Luna. Goes out and get a tattoo, and then the thing collapses. So I guess it's not about the individual person. It's more the idea is you guys, us, all of us here, can be smarter and probably are smarter than a lot of the billionaires that are put up on pedestals throughout the industry, but we just don't give ourselves enough credit for it because we don't think it's possible. Yes, that's my hopium, my pep talk for the video, but it's something that I think back to all the time because I see it so often. We have all of those billionaires that have gone down recently. You know, the last one, we had Terra Luna, and then we also had 3 Arrow Capital, and you know, Zuzu. They really just gamble the shit out of everything, and it doesn't seem like they really have a solid plan for what they're doing. Mike Novogratz, maybe slightly different, but you can see the other two, absolute jokes. Just belly up, billions of dollars liquidated. So smart money really isn't always smart money. So keep your plans together, know what you're doing, and the last smart money here is who knows with these two guys, right? The news being that Elon Musk sold 75% of his Bitcoin holdings, but Bitcoin, what did it do? That was the news that came out. Bitcoin barely did anything. 0.3% down when that news came out. Day before, 0.7%. It didn't do anything really. So I think over the longer term, the market doesn't really care what's going on at the moment for the bearish news based on Tesla selling 75% of their holdings. But you remember in the bull market when they bought, Bitcoin went up a fair bit on that news announcement. That was back in the January period. It sort of shot straight up here into the 40-ish Ks. So you can really see the flip in the market sentiment when the news is telling us certain things that should be bearish, but in fact, it doesn't really play out to a bearish extent that quickly. Keep that in mind. Become the smart money by understanding what's going on out there, and I hope you found a lot of value from today's video. Check out the link to Bybit in the top of the video description. Yes, you can go and trade different things over there and not lose your pants. I'll see you guys in the next video. Like and subscribe, do those things down below. Appreciate it, and I'll see you in the comment section and from Greece in tomorrow's video. I was about to say something in Greek, but I forget it right now. I'll peace out and catch you at the next one. Thanks, guys.